it's the Law Gnome, and welcome to your June 2017 episode of Out of the Vault. If you're new to my channel, welcome, it's a pleasure to have you. This has been discovered to be probably my most popular segment on my channel, because I do nothing but once a month talk about the magical world of Disney. And this year I officially have announced that Pixar and Studio Ghibli films will be included in this monthly segment. Because of how popular this segment is, I really want the longevity to be there. So today, we are going to be talking about that brand new film, the one that basically made me push the canon classics and the Ghibli films aside to make sure that I was all caught up and reviewed the previous two films in this very unexpected and, for me, not necessarily excited for franchise, and that, of course, is Cars 3. So, you know my attitude about the Cars franchise. I'm not the biggest fan. Strangely enough, I seem to enjoy Cars 2 more than the original Cars because of a couple of things in that movie that I feel that many people outside of children would appreciate. So when I found out that Cars 3 was actually happening, believe me, I was not excited. And then I saw the teaser trailers, and then the next trailer, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, this could either be one of the most amazing films to finally redeem this franchise, or this could be the 50-car pileup that looks like a bigger mess than a Cleveland steamer. And if you don't know what that is, I dare you to go Google that and proceed with caution. Some people also call it the Cincinnati Hot Plate. But anyway, I went to see this movie, and when I walked out of the theater, I was like, wow. They actually did it right. This really was an enjoyable film. It was definitely something that caught me by surprise. It was definitely better and probably the best film in the Cars franchise. And then I drove home. And then I got to my door. And then I ate lunch. And then I said, it is a good movie compared to its previous two, but it's too little, too late. One of the few things that I know that this movie totally did was they said, let's make this a grand, tug-at-your-heartstrings, emotional comeback story and pave the new way, pass on the torch sort of story, just like we did for another franchise that was so successful and even got nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, Toy Story 3. They did that, but compared to what came before in the previous two films, it just didn't hold that magic that I really wanted to stick with me. It has a very good cast. Besides the original cast, it's got newcomers, including one of my favorite actors, Nathan Fillion. It's also got Chris Cooper. Cristela Alonso, who plays the new blood in this film, Lightning McQueen's trainer, Cruz Ramirez. Not to mention a brand new antagonist played by Armie Hammer, who always knows how to play a great antagonist, in Jackson Storm. And the whole concept of the story is this going to be Lightning McQueen finally having to leave the racing circuit because the new boys are just so much better than him? And it basically becomes like a Rocky story where he trains and learns new things, discovers new ways, learns new methods, learns how to appreciate the people around him. And then, of course, the race comes, and then the twists come, and everybody's happy, bing bong boom. Cars 3 is definitely a movie that eases my attitude towards the franchise as a whole, because this definitely closes the story on the chapter of Lightning McQueen and puts a nice little bow on it and even gets you in the heart a couple of times, especially with the strategic ways that they added the late Paul Newman into the movie as Doc Hudson, just like he was in the first one. It was his last performance in 2006, and to actually get recordings to give us Doc Hudson again in the movie was definitely nice to see. There's also some awesome things for people who are racing fans. I mean, they got some of the big names in racing back, including Richard Petty, who did the voice of the King in the first film. And again, it's fun, it's got some great moments, there are some points that are a little bit slow, but there are a couple of other things that I really wasn't the biggest fan of. One of them was the fact that they didn't really give us much into Jackson Storm. And to some extent, I understand where it's going, because if you take a look at the first Cars film, film, Lightning McQueen is the hotshot and it's all revolving around the hotshot. Well, how about we take a look at the new rookie hotshot from a different angle and let's see how the older guys in the racing circuit feel and how they prepare to go up against the rookie. I thought that that was pretty interesting, if you get my drift there. Also, the fact that they couldn't get Michael Keaton back to reprise his role as Chick Hicks also was something I wasn't a big fan of, and at the same time, I didn't even think that he was necessary. There were a couple of things in this movie that I felt weren't really necessary, and it led to a couple of cringeworthy moments, I guess you could say. Ironically, none of them, or at least most of them, did not involve Mater. They really didn't have him much in the movie, and I guess that was a little thing for the people who really didn't enjoy Cars 2. They said, let's just put him in the background. But this movie overall is definitely an enjoyable experience. I know for a solid fact that kids will love it, and people who are just fans of that really heartfelt, emotional comeback story will probably like it a lot more than me. It's definitely big screen worthy. The animation is probably the most amazing part of this entire film. There are some parts of this film where it actually looks like there are real cars in a real background. I mean, when it comes to working with computer graphics technology, I swear to God, it really is starting to look like true reality, and that is amazing and scary at the same time. See Cars 3, guys. I think you will at least have a good time. I am going to be giving Cars 3 3 stars out of 4. Only because of the fact that there was enough in this movie that actually got me to enjoy it rather than push myself away from it. But is it the best one in the franchise? I think it is. I really do, but that's not really saying much for the 3 films that we already have. And if there is a Cars 4, I would be a little bit weirded out by that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments down in the box below, and let's discuss Cars 3. And I will see you in the next one, and we will not have any more Pixar films until the release of Coco. I promise you that, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.